Hello, ching, 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 ting, ting, ting. That's me ting in the cup. Welcome, everybody, to the showcase of the Natural Voices Songwriting Workshop that we started in Music in May Festival. It's part of Folkestone Music Town, the CIC. We've been supported and funded by the Arts Council. Seaview Studio have done the project, works the project, and we're very, very lucky to be here in Chambers, which is Folkestone's oldest grassroots music venue. Chris and Liz and the team have let us hold the showcase here, which we're delighted about. Now, thank you, Barrington. We've got some lovely stuff. I'm not going to waffle too much. I just wanted to say a couple of thanks. Tim's going to have perhaps have a chat in between some of the other artists just to sort of say about his experience with it. But I can really honestly, safely say that we've had a really lovely time. It was so really lovely to work with such different artists. We've got a really nice selection. Unfortunately, one of them can't make it tonight. She's really not well. I'm going to read out her lyrics because I want her to still be involved and I want people to hear her lyrics. But basically, the brief was, so we had this lovely project that was funded by the Arts Council for the festival, where we had a songwriting workshop where we helped other people to understand some of the tips and techniques and approaches to songwriting with our help, and gave them a brief, because the thing is with songwriting, as Pete will know and the rest of you will know, with songwriting, sometimes the hardest part is starting, and it's putting that pen to paper, and it's having that first initial idea. Sometimes you've got millions of ideas, and other times you get what we call is writer's block. So having a brief and a little bit of an angle and a vision and, a concept or a subject or a title can be much easier than just starting with a blank page. So what we said with this lovely group of people is, we live in one of the most idyllic and most beautiful parts of, well, the best part of the UK, of course, Folkestone. And we have a lot of creative people that come here to live here because they are so inspired by the natural landscapes. We've got the sea, we've got wonderful hills, we've got so much. We've got the Warren, we've got the sea. We can see France on a clear day. It's wonderful. So there's a lot to be inspired by, and a lot of songwriters that I've met in my years and years of doing this say, when they have writer's block or when they get stuck, you just go for a walk in nature, take your dog for a walk, or your cat in my case, or just go for a walk down the beach, be inspired by water, be inspired by what's around you, and you're not really stuck for any inspiration when you work with what we've got around us. So, with Folkestone being the wonderful place that it is, with these wonderful people, they have written some songs inspired by nature, and we are going to kick off with the lovely Pete.
And so, onto the song I wrote as part of the Natural Voices project. And it draws upon the natural elements as I saw them and our response to them. I think there's a lot to be said for immersing ourselves in nature, for its healing properties in many respects. We live very busy lives and stressful lives, and most times people do go to nature to have that sense of recovery. So, for this, I've got the dreaded harmonica out. I once put this on back to front and wondered why there were no notes coming out, Now, this is where Tim's going to press the button at the right time, we hope. Okay, Tim. If I needed help, where would I start? In nature's arms, she's so genteel. In sea and sky, to calm my heart, and Mother Earth to help me heal. N-A-T-U-R-E, nature brings music to my soul. Since time ago, we need to feel the sand and soil and its appeal. A child of joy with those we love. Nature's sign a peaceful dove. N-A-T-U-R-E. Nature brings music to my soul. Now this is where you come in. Repeat. N-A-T-U-R-E. Nature brings music to my soul. Hey, you're very good. Emotions take us to the heights. We need not be weighted to the ground. From joy and love and ecstasy to pride and pain, yet we still stand. A joyful view of fields and flowers, unlike the sea with its pride and power. I see them all, I need to call upon the soul of nature's halls. Here we go. N-A-T-U-R-E. Nature brings music to my soul. And again. N-A-T-U-R-E. Nature brings music to my soul. Louder. N-A-T, yeah, U-R-E. Nature brings music to my soul. Yeah! Oh, dear. You've no idea what a relief it is to finish. Right then. Okay.
You really listened to all the words of all of his songs. You were really charismatic, and you've got great songwriting skills. You already had good songwriting skills, but you just took a new task on and a new way of writing, which was really nice because you've been doing it a certain way for however long you've been doing it. Because I mean, you're only about 25. Yeah, I know that. But you've been doing your own way, and now you've just found another way of doing it. And he just got stuck straight in, didn't he, Tim? It was lovely. It was just so delightful, and it was just fun. And we all got the gist of it. And you got some singing along. Next we have, so it's a combination. I'm going to let you tell us all about it. Kelly, come up here. Tell us about your project. And we've got Nevaeh and Barrington. We've got a whole little thing going on here.
Right, okay.
Ching ching.
Ching ching, bing bing. Right, so once again, thank you everyone for being here. I'd like to introduce Barrington and Nevaeh. So this is my lovely granddaughter, and this is my other half, my better half. So this is the first song that I've ever written. Right. So originally I went, it's a Music in May workshops, and I went to all of them, didn't I? I just went to everything. I did guitar, I did piano, I did harmonica, I did beatboxing, like really went in. And the singer-songwriter workshop that I went to, I really went because I was being nosy, and I had fear of missing out, and I went along to, and there were so many talented people there. And I thought, I can't do this. But with Tim and Sophia's help and their kind of big guidance, I managed to get some words onto paper. And that's because we had, obviously, Folkestone. And for me, Folkestone is the most beautiful place. I absolutely love it here. I love the people. I love the beaches, just the whole atmosphere. So having that briefing from Tim and Sophia, my favourite place in Folkestone is the harbour. So my song is about the harbour, so I called it Harbour Days. I can't sing, I'm tone deaf. But these guys can sing. I did want to play the harmonica, but the harmonica wasn't good enough. So the amazing Katie Bradley, she's done the harmonica on the track. So the harmonica that you're hearing is from Katie. And yeah, so Harbour Days, hope you enjoy it. And yeah, smash it, guys. I didn't thank Folkestone Music and the Arts Council for all their help and support in this. Sorry, I forget things.
Yeah, I think that's about right, yeah. Right. She writes it, we get to sing it. Ready? All right, then?
Yeah.
Okay, are you ready, Tim?
Sitting on the harbour, watching the sun come up. Sitting on the harbour, tequila in my cup. People walking by, asking me what's up. Rolling with the crowd, the music's blasting loud. Rolling with the crowd, the music's blasting loud. I don't want this day to stop, or this sun to ever drop. Swimming faces, eating places, kids doing races. Bucket spades, jumping waves, people sailing in the caves, music dancing with the waves. Sitting on the harbour, watching the sun come up. Sitting on the harbour, tequila in my cup. People walking by, asking me what's up. Rolling with the crowd, the music's blasting loud. I said rolling with the crowd, the music's blasting loud. I don't want this day to stop, or this sun to ever drop. Sun's gone in, bottles dry, people pointing at the sky, seagulls wearing off their cry. Now it's night and we need inside, 'cause we're sitting on the harbour, watching the sun come up. Sitting on the harbour, tequila in my cup. People walking by, asking me what's up. Rolling with the crowd, the music's blasting loud. I said rolling with the crowd, the music's blasting loud. I don't want this day to stop, or this sun to ever drop. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Oh da 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 da. Hey, do 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 do. Oh, the sun to ever drop. I don't want this day to stop, or the sun to ever drop. Do 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 da 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 da.
to stop all this sun to ever drop. Do, 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 do.
I've been involved in this as well. And I've been thrilled to see people embrace basically the process, chuck themselves into it fully. And it seems like it's been a lot of fun for the participants. I certainly hope that's the case, because that's what it's all about. That's what making music is about, bringing joy. And that's our whole raison d'etre. So if I can help inspire and bring joy to other people through their music, then that's really quite special to me. So I've thoroughly enjoyed working with all you guys. But I genuinely want to say thank you for your participation and your efforts, because, as I say, I love sharing stuff about how to make music, and everyone seems to have enjoyed that, lapped it up and thrown themselves into the project fully. And I think what you've seen so far is already testament to the quality of output that has come out of that, and that's entirely because the participants gave it their all. So just from me, thank you to everyone that was involved. Power. So, as Sophia mentioned earlier, unfortunately there is one participant can be with us this evening on account of poor health. However, Sophia is just rallying up the lyrics. You will be, mate. Can we have one conversation? Thank you. But yeah, so Poppy unfortunately couldn't be with us to perform, but she threw herself into the process much like everyone else, and Sophia is now going to read the lyrics from Poppy's song Inspired by Nature.
Yeah, it's really sad that Poppy couldn't be here. I actually met Poppy. I just want to say a few words because this is all being filmed, so she's going to see this back. So Poppy, we're missing you tonight, and she really wanted to be here, but she just can't. But I met Poppy last year at Lorraine Lucas's Folkestone Songwriting Festival that she's been doing for the last about eight years. She very kindly asked me to come and be one of the songwriting tutors, which I was very delighted and honoured to do. Anyway, we did 4 workshops. Each one of the tutors did 4 workshops, Saturday morning, Saturday afternoon, Sunday morning, Sunday afternoon. And then the groups just circulated around. And it happened that I got Poppy on the Sunday afternoon. It was that group that came to me. And she was sitting in the corner and she was very quiet and she was looking at me like very scared. And I could see that, I perhaps needed to just go and have a conversation with her. And very long story short, Poppy hadn't actually, I didn't know this, but Poppy hadn't spoken or sung or anything for the whole weekend. And something amazing happened between Poppy and I. I don't quite know what it was, but something magical happened and Poppy just started singing with me. And I'm going to cry now because it was a very magical moment. Her mum was there, her brother was in the room, and we were all in floods of tears. Lorraine came in from the Songwriting Festival. She was in tears, and it was a very wet puddle on the floor. But I was absolutely honoured and delighted that something in the relationship that Poppy and I had created together made her want to sing, because everybody should sing, because it releases endorphins and makes you happy. And since then, I've been working with Poppy. She comes to the studio and she does vocal coaching and songwriting lessons with me. And she brings these songs in, and I'm telling you, I'm gutted she's not here, because she had 3 songs prepared that she'd written all of them. One from this brief, which I just want to read the lyrics out because she really works hard. She plays the piano, she plays the guitar, she's got the most beautiful, haunting voice, and she's just so unassuming. And one day you will get to hear her because she's building up the courage to do this, and she really wants to do it. So, Poppy, thank you for persevering and taking my instructions and being bossed around by me, but really she's really put herself out of her comfort zone with some stuff. So, this song is the one that she wrote that was for today. Now, Poppy's vibe is very Oh, she would be. Some of her songs, you hear them. When you hear her singing, it's like you could hear a pin drop. They're very, very haunting. So they would work really well in movies and certain scenes. You can just picture them being used in synchronized. Synchronized music is when you synchronize it to an advert or a film or a series or something. She's right in that realm. So this is called Into the Woods. There's something in the woods now. It watches as you go. And I start to get the feeling that I am not alone. Don't dare turn my head, too scared of what I'll find. So I'll keep walking on into the woods now. The chorus is a nice, as we've gone over, repetitive chorus. Into the woods now, me, myself and you. Into the woods now, me, myself and you. There's some oohs and some ad-libs. I'm not going to try and sing Poppy's part for her. Verse 2. I feel it getting closer as the light begins to fade. A hand placed on my shoulder and a voice begins to say, if you keep going here, there'll be no coming back. You'll just end up like me, lost in the woods now. Into the woods now, me, myself and you. Into the woods now, me, myself and you. Then there's some lovely, I say very flippantly, some oohs and ahs and ad-libs, but when you hear her do them, they are the most haunting coos that you just escaped in them. And then there's just a nice repetition of the chorus. And then there's a little bridge there's something in the woods now. I watch it as it goes. But the closer that I get, I recognise the shadows. Into the woods now, me, myself and you, into the woods now. And that's Poppy's song. Isn't it lovely? So hopefully you'll get to hear her sing that one day, but we're going to play this back to her. Thank you for being here. We are now on to our last but not least act. And you've got 3 lovely songs, all original songs. So you're going to tell us, are you going to do the project song first? Okay, so, and this is your band as well, isn't it? So Nastia, who, I don't know if any of you remember the BBC show that we had back in April. You might remember Nastia's face from the studio when she came in and met Andy Oliver, and we had, oh gosh, a lovely big suitcase of all the food that your nan made us. Her granny stayed up till 2 o'clock in the morning making all this food, and we're trying to concentrate on doing stuff for the BBC, and I was more interested in what was in the suitcase. And I can safely say I like Ukrainian food. So Nastia is the lead singer of the band. Your band is called Yellow and Blue. Come and tell us all about your project and your songs. Nastia, everybody.
There's someone's phone here as well. Ooh, there you go. I always like to have the lyrics. I never look at them, but it's nice to have them. So, funny story. My return back to music kind of began from Chambers. Thank you, Chris. So, about 2 years ago, a bit more than 2 years ago, I started doing music again. I'm from Ukraine. My family's from Ukraine, and when the war started, I figured I can do some music events. That's how I met Chris. That's how I ended up in Chambers. A bit more than 2 years now, like May 2022. So that's where it all started. And then I think you recommended me to Sophia, or yeah, for the Andy Oliver show. So that's how I met Sophia. And then, yeah, earlier this year, I found out about Music in May, and I tried to go to everything that I could. I wasn't feeling that great on the day that we were going to have the songwriting thing. I didn't know what it was. I just signed up, and I was like, I don't know, I have to go. Usually I'm a very flaky person, but I decided to go. And it was such an amazing experience because, I mean, I've written music before, but I always felt like I get a bit stuck, and I like to have some external input, and it was so useful. Like everything Sophia said, everything that Tim said, maybe I didn't take everything on board, but I definitely absorbed it and will use it in this song and others to come, and I really hope we work again. And yeah, we kind of came full circle. Now we're back in Chambers. So my band, we're called On Yellow and Blue. This is Kirill on guitar. This is Ola. In parts we're related, in parts we're friends. It's a complicated creative relationship. And we're gonna start with this song we wrote for natural voices. It's called Sea. I know. Also, I'll be playing melodica in this rain stick. Pro tip for anyone looking for weird instruments, go on Vinted. One moment, it's a bit complicated, this whole operation. Yes. Thank you. That's my goal. It needs to look all easy, but it's really not. Oh, well, look, my mouthpiece went away. Thank you. COVID. Yeah. My heart weighs more than I can carry when the walls and streets and thoughts close in on me. When the air gets thick and life becomes too scary, I'm pulled towards the all-consuming sea. The sea. The sea. So when I want to shout, I am the sees in me, and I take the plunge and let the wave take me where it will. When the darkness slithers through my channels, it pushes all the hope out of my soul. I press surrender on my control panel and step towards a watery black hole. So when I want to shout, the sea, the sea, the sea in me gives me all I need. Thank you.
Whew. We've come to the end of our little showcase. I know, it was lovely. And Adam's here now. The man from the Arts Council's here, so I can repeat it again so I get brand points. So, Adam, come over here. Come over here. yeah. He did have to come all the way from London. He was doing important things. He wasn't just picking his nose, you know. Adam, tell us a bit about why you funded this and all that kind of stuff.
Okay. So what has the Royal Opera House, the National Theatre and Folkestone Music Town got in common? They all love music. They all love music, but it's also true to say they're all funded by the Arts Council. So that's a good thing. So why does it fund? Well, it funds all sorts of things, but I mean, likes to fund quality, likes to fund things which engage people, give people an opportunity to be creative, and gives an opportunity for songs to be heard, music to be heard by an audience. So, in fact, tonight has done practically all of those things. I think I can go back to the Arts Council and say thank you very much. It was everything was achieved. Thank you.
It was well worth it.
And that we should do it again, right? Yes.
We're waiting for the application as soon as you can get it together.
Oh. No pressure, I'll get my pen and me. I love filling out forms. Thank you, Chris and Liz, for letting us do this here. They've let us do so many wonderful things here. And to be able to hold the Folkestone Music Town meetings and all the different events and all the wonderful workshops and showcases of workshops and just seeing you guys, like, do what you did out of your comfort zone. Kelly's never written a song and you were all really nervous. Nastia, you've just, like, never done it in that format before. Poppy, as I said, who couldn't make it tonight, couldn't even speak at one point and, you know, has done all of this. And we've got, who have I forgotten? Pete, who's standing right in front of me. Oh, wonderful Pete, who, can we just give him a round of applause for his red waistcoat and his bow tie? Please, everybody, just look at Pete. Pete, actually, we came across Pete and Chris. Remember that day that you messaged me and said, I've got this delightful man outside. You joined the busking project. That's another thing that happens in Music in May Festival. We have a busking project and all these wonderful musicians take part, and Pete just came into our lives, and I'm so glad you did, because he just brought so much joy. And Chris messaged and just went, well, I've just got the most delightful man out the front of our place, and he's just he's making everybody smile, and I think he's made the most amount of money out of everybody. You made some money that day, didn't you, Pete? Even better. Yay! So, yes, thank you. Tim, come up here, because Tim always sits in the background, and he's a very great songwriter. He's my husband, and we run the studio together, but he recorded all these guys. So, have you got anything to say?
Thank you very much. Good night.